Run it. I can't take no loss. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, yeah. Run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.
Guys, welcome back to the Two Heads podcast. My name is Cavan Byrne.
I'm Mukhtar.
And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Kenneth O'Driscoll.
Yehey.
How's it going, lads?
What's happening, brother? How are you?
Is that welcome? Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good.
So just to intro Kenneth, Kenneth has a very, very interesting story, very inspirational story. Came from a dark place and turned to running. And now has a running club with over 200 members.
Yeah, 220, 220, give or take.
Yeah, 200, upwards of 200. And has gone from no running experience at all to marathons, ultramarathons, including the Kerry Way, which is an over 200 kilometre race. So a very inspirational human being on the couch today. So Kenneth, welcome.
Thanks, lads. Thanks for having me.
Intro of the year.
Nice one.
Yeah, so Kenneth, I think... Well, what we always do is we always start from the beginning, so the background, and like I said there in your little intro, you know, you turned to running from a dark place. What exactly is that? How did that come about, and then how did you transition out of that into running and where you are now?
Basically, got caught up in addiction at a young age, so I was just dabbling with drugs from really young in Cherry Orchard, you know what I mean, and then. Before I knew it, I was after getting caught up with hard drugs, so I ended up being a heroin addict.
Okay.
Caught up in that brought me to some nasty situations and places, you know what I mean, as well, through the years. Obviously, with me addiction, I had to try get drugs from somewhere or get money from somewhere, so that turned into doing small drug deals. And at one stage, then I went to try rob a bank. Money that was getting lodged into a bank ended up getting arrested, obviously, you know what I mean? I was only 18. Ended up locked up in prison, Mountjoy.
Can I bring you back real quick there? Yeah. That's a story that I'd never heard now. Like, you went to try to rob a bank and money that was getting lodged into the bank. How did that come?
Well, basically, the people you would have I was caught up with at the time, you know what I mean? I tell you exactly what happened was these guys were out robbing the country blind, doing really well in their business, whatever you want to call it, in their field. And so one day there was a stroke came up and they were down one man. He didn't turn up for some reason, which was strange. And I had connections with these lads and just got a phone call. Says, right, it's on. Do you want to come with us? And I knew they were at being successful in
everything else. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
So I decided, look, they're at getting a couple of good hits. I says, I'll go for it. You know what I mean? I was bollocks. I was on me bollocks. No money, an addiction to, you know what I mean, to keep on top of. But so yeah, I got the phone call and I said, yeah, I'll go with it. Jumped in the car with them, drove off. We decided then there was someone lodging the money into the bank, jumped out. It was in Clonskea, I think, the bank in Clonskea.
Sorry, Ken, is that like a G4S kind of showing up and putting money in, or like just someone with a
it was a lodgement. It was
like a bank machine lodgement. Yeah, security.
There wasn't a security van. No, it was a person lodging the money, but it was from their business. So that's.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know anything about that. I just was told there's a nice few bob to be made here. Do you want to take a chance on it? I was only 18 at the time as well. It's stupid of me, but decided to go. Ends up getting the money. Got a big chase down into town. Fucking madness. Ends up getting blocked in by all the police cars and the traffic. We had to jump out and go on foot. So we looked up one way. And they had the bridge blocked. It was on the canal. I'll never forget it. Looked the other way. They had the bridge blocked, so there was nowhere to go. Only into the water. So we decided
to swim
into the canal, cross the water, come out the other side of the water, and went on my toes. And maybe I got a few back irons or something like that. I was hidden in the shed. And me thinking I was being clever. Should he just follow the fucking wet footsteps? Did he? Yeah. You know what I mean? Shit.
That's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, and they just got door busted open in the shed, gun put to my head on the ground.
Wow.
So that was your start to running anyway?
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And come on, so when you were pulled then, you were 18, so back then I believe that would have been Pats, was it? Would have been Pats?
I was in St. Pat's for the
St. Patrick's, yeah.
Because I was underage. I was actually 17, I was just going on 18. And I was put into St. Pat's institution. And then 2 weeks after that, I got a knock on the cell door. And he says, right, you're going into Mountjoy. It's fucking terrifying for a kid. Like, you know, you're in St. Pat's institution. I know it's a I wouldn't say rougher prison, but there's more ego.
There's a bit, yeah.
Teenagers want to show off.
Yeah.
So like that in itself was scary enough. I was very lucky that because of the area I was living in, there was a couple of lads in
Everyone
there.
knows each other.
So I was looked after in there. And that went on about 2 weeks. I think I was steady me bleeding cell for most of that, because obviously I was young and I was terrified going around. But then when they knocked on the door and told me, right, I think it was the day after my birthday, was that the turning 18.
Just like
and once you turn 18, that's it, they have the
They
shift.
can move you, yeah.
So gets the call, right, Mountjoy.
Mad.
Went over there. And at the time, I was kind of dabbling in drugs. I was still an addict, like, you know what I mean, but just dabbling. But when I went into Mountjoy, it was kind of got a little bit serious, because obviously you're trying to block out the
trying to get away from everything.
Overall, escaping from it. And so it was in there that, a friend of mine that was in there, he gave me a bit of stuff, and I think I kind of spoiled out control a little bit with my drug use in there.
So what would have been like? Let's go back to like heroin, obviously, yeah.
It would have been heroin.
Do you mind me asking, what age are you now?
I'm 48, Jimmy. 48.
48.
Yeah,
so back when heroin was, like back then, because I understand from a lot of my friends as well, you know, a lot of my mates that we go up with around Barno, that a lot of them wouldn't have known what heroin was back then either. It was like smoking weed or anything. There was no massive...
It was nearly normalised.
Yeah, it was nearly normalised in parties and things like that. Was it like that?
Yeah,
when you were 18 as well?
No, they have it right there. I'll tell you what it was, like, back in the 80s, obviously, there was a pandemic of heroin. You know what I mean? Then I went into the 90s, but when it kind of fizzled out, it was kind of held in the inner city more so, Dolphins Burn.
In town now, yeah.
And it was coming out to the outskirts. But then the 90s kicked in with the rave scene.
Yeah.
So there was a massive influx of ecstasy. All the party drugs were coming in. So a lot of that was kind of forgotten about, still there, but wasn't as highlighted. And then the big thing was that when you were finished your raves, go back to a party, you're sitting there.
And you come down off the ease.
This was meant to be the
best way to do it.
Ever,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how a lot of us ended up being strung out, you know what I mean? A lot of people, they didn't think they were strung out because we were only doing it on the weekends.
Yeah, and plus it wasn't just like on your own. Everybody was fucking doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It was like, do you know what I took away from it when the lads were telling me? It was like going out to, I don't know, like Tiesto, and everybody's on the kit.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. Like it was so taboo.
Just so like a thing over it, like Yeah,
it was mad, like, you know.
Yeah, it was like and like you said there, I remember being in the Asylum nightclub, and it was like downstairs was like real dark and boom, boom, boom. You know, like proper 90s rave. Then you had the middle floor was a little bit more mingly, a little bit the music, and then the top floor was just fucking carnage. It was just everyone's up smoking gear, fucking taking all sorts. You know what I mean? It was a bit hectic up there, but that's why I'll always have that in my memory of. It was like the top floor was where you went to get fucking out. You know what I mean?
To go the full way. Like.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or if you're finished with your rave, you know what I mean? You go up there.
That's madness. And come here, gonna take you back to the Joy now. So you got moved to the Joy. So how long did you do in the Joy?
It was 6 months on remand.
Okay.
In there, and then I was lucky. Going back to the robbery itself, when we got arrested, we were put in the two lads. The guy who was driving, he was like the ringleader of the gang, and he was put into the car with me, which is unusual. Usually everyone's in separate cars. So I'm sitting there and I'm chatting to him, and he goes, "Look," he says, "I'm bollocks." He says, "I have probably 3 or 4 banks that are looking for me for." He says, "Which they're gonna do me on," and he says, "You just tell them I threatened you to go on the robbery with me." You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that fucking helped me massively when I went to court. Like you know, and he actually said it. I think in a statement he had said, "No, young Kenneth was only a little drag along." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they were all probably in their late 20s.
You're only 18.
I was fucking blessed that happened, because obviously if I'd just kept my mouth shut, you know what I mean? We had to deal as a criminal, you know what I mean? But he was at the same to me. He goes, "No, you just tell them I threatened you to go." He owed me money, and I says. So thanks to that fella.
And like
his name.
That's serious, man. Fair play to him. And I believe probably still in there. Probably, you never know.
No, I think he's out.
He's out now. Yeah,
he's out. He
that's brilliant.
In and out. It was a long time ago. So
that's brilliant. And come here, when you were on remand there, do you remember your wing that you were on? Did you make it onto the wing?
In Pats.
B wing.
Yeah, I think it was on B.
In Pats or the Joy?
No, it was on B wing and Pats. I'm trying to think of the Joy where it was at.
I think it's B.
No. I was in A wing, sorry. I think I was in O and D at one time, but it was not.
I think the Joy would have been B wing because it's Ballya and Clondalkin.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the same back then. I think it was more mixed when we were there. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, like that was 1990, I think. You know what I mean? But I think it might have been there. But would have been probably on both. I was on A wing for a bit and B wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like it's mad, isn't it? It's mad to see what like. this is what's beautiful about this, like, and that's why I wanted to get you on board, because I know your story is crazy, bro. And a lot of people around the area is gonna relate to the exact same kind of story. But not everyone is taking it up to do what you're doing right now, and that's what's the beautiful thing about it. And that's why I'm gonna bring it back now and go to, like, when did you get out? What?
Well, obviously, I think it was 1990, and then it was 91. I was only done, as I said, it was 6 months in remand. We went up to court, and I think I got probation. I got 5 years suspended sentence with probation, but it was all down to I had great character references, you know what I mean, from people in the area and stuff.
Yeah.
And but the judge knew that I was like a scapegoat. You know what I mean? I was only so young compared to the rest of the gang, so
you know what I mean?
was just very lucky that he didn't put me down, send me down. You know.
Yeah. And then, so what does it look like then coming out? What are, like, let's say, the year or two after coming out from there? What does that look like? What unfolds for you in your life from that point?
It was still bleeding madness, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? I got out of there. I was probably a bit more cleverer because I didn't want to fucking go back. So I was just really shrewd in my ways, making sure that I didn't do anything stupid. You know what I mean? I still obviously was hustling and had to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing what I had to do because of the addiction side of things, you know. But it was a bit madness, like selling drugs, and then we were from Gallenstown, you know what I mean, in Ballyfermot. It was a bit hectic up there.
Yeah.
There was this just mad relationship between the young lads and the police. You know what I mean? I heard a great one, I think it was the two Nordies were saying about, he says, the police were like an occupying force in your area. You know what I mean? Where you just fucking hated them. And for us, that was like, after prison, it was kind of that, stuck in the area, doing what we were doing. And then we ended up, there was terrible bleeding confrontations with police. They were treating us like shit. Obviously, we were the fucking local thugs or whatever in the area. And but they treated us really, really bad. No roughing you up every time they pulled you in. So
Any chance they could, yeah.
Any chance they could. So it got to the stage where we were just like I said, we were like another arse. No, we wanted to hurt them. We wanted to attack them. So every weekend it was like,
Rob cars.
Yeah, I got into
ramming
car,
each other, yeah.
You know what I mean? We did.
You know what I mean?
We were trying to ambush them. Like, we had cars everywhere. Like, when we used to rob them, we used to park them up, go get another one, park it up. And then Saturday night would come around and we say, right, how do we get the police into the area, into a certain area, part of the area, whatever, and then we'd try to attack them. And it just went on for years, that did. But mad, like, they think that I've come out of it unscathed is fucking a blessing. And like, I've always kind of knew I was in the wrong place. Yeah, like, no, even when I was acting the bollocks, I had a good feeling that, like, this is not you. You know, like, I had that inner voice, you know, saying to me, this is not you, Ken. But yeah, because of the surroundings and the environment, I just went along with it, you know.
I had the exact same realisation, like, the older I got myself, because growing up in Bonogads at a young age, especially when I was growing up there, I'm still in Bono, but like when we first moved there, we were the first black family really in Bono. Yeah, so I didn't have any black friends. Do you get me? So all my boys were like, I'm not gonna drop any names, but you know most of them, but they were all somebody's brothers. So they already had this ego. So I just fell into it. You know what I mean? And just acted the exact same way. And sometimes looking back on it, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, I got away with more though. It's like but then you ask yourself, it's not normal.
No,
it's not normal. You know what I mean?
It's far from it.
Yeah, you do know yourself. You know, like, and I think there's something about being young and that haziness of you know, you're blocking stuff out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're not fucking doing what's right.
No,
I know you always had that feeling, and I knew that one day I would get out, but just I was.
I guess at that point in life as well, you're immortal, aren't you? Like, there's no.
Exactly.
Life goes on forever.
I'm young.
Away, like,
bulletproof.
Yeah, exactly, bulletproof. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And so when would you have listened to the voice that was saying that? When would you have started listening to your gut? Like,
yeah, my ex-girlfriend got pregnant, and for me, like, when my daughter was born, it was just like, it was a game changer.
The ultimate wake-up call.
Man, it was just like, I distinctly remember I was stoned to get the phone call, she's gone to labour, you know what I mean? I remember arriving at the hospital and you're trying to get your shit together, you know what I mean?
Man, I can imagine that.
And you don't, like, I wouldn't have been fucking mad over, but I was definitely like high, you know what I mean? And then we were sitting there waiting for her to be born, then she was born, was called into the room, and the nurse had said to me, open up your shirt. So I'm sitting there and opened up, old 90s Ben Sherman shirt I probably had on or something. I opened up this shirt and she goes, I wanted to touch skin on skin, you know what I mean? And then she opened up the blanket and put me baby Courtney on my chest, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Game over.
Like that,
Yeah, that was it, man. It was just, I said, I'm not, because I'd have grown up without a father, you know what I mean? My dad was a drinker, you know what I mean? And now he wasn't bad to us or nothing, but you know that the time, your time is more so focused towards your drinking than your family and your kids and all. And I just didn't want that for her. There wasn't a fucking chance on earth that was I gonna let her grow up with a dad being an addict, you know what I mean? And for me, and I get emotional even talking about, because she's bleeding deadly. She's the best kid ever. She had grown up to be a beautiful daughter, and
Brilliant.
you know what I mean? And
that's amazing.
but there wasn't a fucking chance I was gonna continue what I was doing, knowing that I had the responsibility of a baby. You know?
That's brilliant. Sure. And how did you seek out for help? Like, did you seek out for help, or did you do it yourself?
I done it myself. Like I said, it went on. I left the hospital that day, and I swore to myself I wasn't going to do heroin again.
Wow. And just said, that's it, like, you just, boom, knocked it in.
That was it. No, I didn't actually stop, like, off the bat now. I just said I wasn't doing heroin again, so I knew I couldn't just stop. You know what I mean? I knew the withdrawals would have took me down. So I ended up going and buying methadone, you know what I mean, myself. And I started self-medicating with that. It went on for about a year, maybe, probably a year or 2 years, I think. And I was in my mum's house, and a friend of mine knocked at the door. He came in to me, he's in recovery a long time, but he was a good friend of the family, he's always in and out, and he opened up the sitting room door. He goes, yeah, all right. He must have seen it in me as well, but because I was just fucking broke, you know. I was going through two years on methadone, and then I was kind of losing hope in myself, thinking I'm not going to be able to give this up.
Off this, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could be a little bit off with my dates, but yeah, it was around roughly 2 years. Walked by, he goes, how are you doing? I said, we're just fucking pissed off and feel like giving up, you know what I mean? I don't think I have the strength to get through withdrawals and everything else. And he goes, you can if you really want it. He goes, how bad do you want it? He said to me. And I says, I really want it bad. And he goes, right. He says, now, and only for him, Georgie Bowers, I love mentioning his name, because for me it was like, it was a massive part of my change. You know what I mean? Him just putting his hand out and offering me the help. And he said, look, come down to the house to me if you want. We'll go, get under the blankets and go through the rattles, you know, go through cold turkey.
Go cold turkey with it.
And he said to me, I'll come up to you tomorrow. He says, I'll finish up and work. I'll come up. I think it was a Friday, it would have been. He rings me that morning. He goes, what's the crack? Are you coming down? He goes, take your methadone and come down to the house to me. And I remember, I was only waking up when he called me. So I remember having the methadone, and I was sitting in the toilet, and I was thinking to myself, like, I rang him up. I said, I didn't take it yet. I said, what should I do? And he goes, well, it's up to you. He said, the quicker you stop, the quicker it's going to be over. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just fucking emptied it down the toilet pot. And it was weird. I always remember the feeling I got when I done it. It was like, you know what I mean? I can do this, you know, that way. And although it was fucking terrifying, it was scary, and I knew I'd have to go through a lot of shit. I had got the confidence, and I knew I had to do it, you know what I mean? And I wanted it, but... So I went down to his gaff, and his wife as well. She was bleeding great, you know what I mean? She helped me out massively, feed me, you know what I mean? And but yeah, I went through a couple of rough nights down there, where waking up, the bed just soaked from sweat, you know what I mean? And you're constantly, you're not sleeping properly, you know what I mean? You're getting the odd little 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Legs hopping, the aches and pains, you know what I mean? I went on for a few days. And then when I noticed after about 4 days, I felt myself getting a little bit easier, the pain was. And that's when I kind of like held on and just said, right, there's a little bit of hope here, you know what I mean? And but yeah, I had to do it. The little baby was depending on me, and that's the way that's all I kept saying in my head was, this baby needs you badly, you know what I mean? So
madness. And come out, like, you see, when you done that, you didn't relapse at all?
No, I never relapsed.
That's big respect, man. Serious. That is serious. Absolutely. That's wow.
Yeah, that was so. I'm at the losing count around 20 years ago.
That's
you know what I mean?
incredible. You should be proud of yourself.
Since then,
that should be proud of yourself. Like,
but it's like,
it's not easy.
No, it hadn't been easy. And now, don't get me wrong. There's friends of mine that are in recovery. They do the 12-step program and all. And a lot of my mates are in recovery. Now, I can still have a beer if I choose to have a drink. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people would say, is that a relapse? Is it not? You know, but for me, I know heroin was my addiction. So as long as I don't fucking touch heroin again, I'm happy enough. You know what I mean? That suits me. But yeah, so I knew I always kind of knew if I got one chance of getting off this. I was a long time on it. I was 13, I think, when we looked back.
Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell.
It was only when I done the interview with the lads in town that I started checking, going back on myself to get me story, basically. You know, when I was asking me ma, I was asking me family and friends, and I remember me mate goes, we says we were fucking sitting in the Lawns Park and we were smoking heroin under a fucking jacket. He said, at 13.
Jesus.
Wow.
You know? And then it was obviously like, it wouldn't have been a severe addiction. It was only like a little touch and go.
But, yeah.
But then when the ecstasy scene came in and we were out raving and just getting shit-faced all the time, that's where
That's when it went deep.
We see more people doing it as well. You're going to like, oh, sure, that's
It's normal, like, it's the norm.
Like, yeah.
So like when I realised how young I was set back a bit from it. You know, I was like, what the fuck, 13? Like if you look at a baby now or a kid at 13, they're only babies, like.
Yeah, they're only blossoming at that point. Really.
Yeah, man.
So
you know?
it was like 13 to the age of 30. I was on heroin.
Wow. Wow, so you've done that again back off it, like.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, the same again off it. So thank God.
Yeah, fair dues to you, man. He'd
nice one, bro.
put the manners on you, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking-
Mad, innit?
We all know that one, you know.
And like so now you came off back into the home with the family, the kids, everything. So how did you pick up? What made you go? Did you, like I'm 100% sure you didn't just go start jogging and that's it.
No.
You had to start somewhere. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it was football,
Yeah.
gym.
It was I
Tennis.
was always into I was always into doing a little bit of fitness, and I boxed and stuff like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never took it up serious. It was only just to make you feel good make you feel like you've done something. You know.
to do, yeah.
So when I got clean, when I was actually down in his house, it was about 10 days it took me to get over the whole lot of it. I started going out to the local park, the Memorial, I think it was, down in the lower end of Ballyfermot. Started going to that park, doing a lot of walking, and then doing little bits of jogging in between. You know, and so I continued to do that. I was getting up most mornings just trying to clear the head. And I always remember every time I had a little run or a little bit of exercise, how good it made me feel and made me a little bit more confident. And because like I was rattled, like I'd never forget the psychological effect of coming off drugs. After it was like my nervous system was fucked. You know, like the anxiety was through the roof. Couldn't face people. I was embarrassed, obviously. There was a lot of shame. There was a lot of shame attached to being a fucking addict. And even talking about it sometimes, I used to hold back from telling people I used to be there. But I'm at a stage now in my life where I don't really care. But, and if it means someone hearing the story and thinking, right, there might be a bit of hope, especially if there's a young lad there, you know. But getting back to the running bit, so I always remember I done my first 5K, I think. And I just remember the confidence I got from it, and I think I was even went into shit because I couldn't really go to the shops around. That's how bad I was. I used to get mad sweats, and so I couldn't even go for the shopping. But I always remember every time I ran, I hadn't got these feelings. The anxiety was gone. You know what I mean? I felt a little bit more confident. I didn't feel ashamed, and so whatever it was doing to my brain function and my body, I just thought I need more of that.
I need more of it.
Dopamine hit off
Exactly,
it,
and that's what it was. It's the same fucking chemicals in your brain that drugs will give you. So,
sure,
you know what I mean? I always remember just saying, I need more of that, and if that's making me better, I'll do more of that.
I'll do more of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, just...
Madness,
The
man.
rest is history then.
Yeah.
And then, so come here then, tell me how you get from nailing a 5K to running fucking 200K. How the fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you get to
Fucking
that?
hell,
Fucking
yeah.
drive 200K, can't
That's
it?
mad. It's mad.
It's the dopamine. It's
Yeah.
the addiction. Like, and that's being honest with you. I did get really addicted to running. You know what I mean? But it was a healthy addiction. I kind of made sure my recovery was okay and stuff like that. And I looked after myself. I didn't just go mad doing it, you know. And then I always remember finishing the Dublin Marathon, and it was kind of, that's where I got the idea of the running club as well. I come onto the main street of the finish line. You have the carpet out and everyone's cheering, and I always remember running up that road thinking, why the fuck are more people, especially in Ballyfermot where I was from, why are
Not
more
doing it,
people
like-
not doing this shit? Because I was as high as a kite. I was fucking buzzing, and the feeling I got, and then where it was at the bringing me from, you know what I mean? I thought, why isn't more people preaching this and shouting it from the rooftops?
Yeah.
And after my marathon, I continued to do a couple of small races, and then I always wanted to hit that 50k mark. So I strived for that. A couple of years went by, I got a 50k. I don't think I'd done an official race for the 50k. I think I just went out and done it.
Just did it, like.
With a good friend of mine as well was like guiding me. He was telling me all about, you know what I mean, about the run. So I think he brought me out, done my first 50k. Then I said, right, how far can we bring this? You know what I mean?
Jesus, man.
And then I just kept on upping it. And I think it was about a year away. I think I remember seeing someone doing the Kerry Way Ultra. And I looked there on the video and I thought, man, I wonder is it doable, you know? And so I started testing myself out, got the 70s in, got 80, and then pal of mine who was sort of guiding me, he said to me, he goes, right, he says, the Kerry Way Ultra is coming up next year. He says, you fancy it? Now, I was thinking, nah, look, it's whatever it is about 70s and 80s, I'm struggling at these, you know what I mean? He says,
Right, guys, today's episode is brought to you by Champions Gym. Champions Gym is located in the back of Wigglers on the Long Mile Road. We are the greatest gym in Ireland to date. The home of the champions, where everything is based around our members and our community. We have good rates, good membership deals, top level staff, top level trainers, and all of the best equipment that you can get your hands on. Champions Gym is the sponsor of today's podcast. Down on the Long Mile Road behind Wigglers. Be sure to come in, check it out, a day pass, a month, whatever it is. Come join now and join the home of the champions. Champions Gym, sponsor of today's podcast.
I'm not going to even try that.
And may I ask you, like, would you, like, so you were the one, like, 70K straight with no stoppage?
Well, you have to stop for fuel and little breaks, like, that'd be it. But yeah, like, near enough to...
Man, I'd die, man. I would die, bro. Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah.
You're driving that, you're like, Jesus, taking a bit.
Man, I got the sweat, like, sorry to put in there, like, I got the sweat from that Dublin Marathon that was on there last
From watching it.
From just watching
Watching
it.
it around.
Oh, 20, what was that, 24 or something?
42, 26 mile, but 42
42.
kilometers.
That is
Jesus
ridiculous. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Do you reckon there's something wrong with those long distance runners?
whoa,
You know what I mean?
like, as a bodybuilder, we lead in power walk.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything over that, we're bone and muscle. We're like, hell no.
Climb a
You
lot of
know?
stairs. And
So when I see that, when I see, like, I've been following, like, I know you since, like, we're kids, like, you know what I mean? And, like, the thing that you've done and the achievement that you've done and the boys that you brought along and you taught as well have achieved amazing things behind your back as well. And, like, it's gratitude, man. Fair play to you, like, honestly.
serious.
But, like, it's, I've never, to be honest with you, I'm going to be dead serious with you. I've never heard the story of you being strung out, though.
Yeah.
Never.
I kept it under wraps.
Yeah, never heard it. This is the first time I've heard that story.
Yeah, it's mad, innit?
It's mad, innit?
Yeah.
Like, me and him had a chat this morning, and he was saying it to me, and I was like, that's mad. I never knew you are.
Yeah.
I always seen you as the fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I remember talking to you in the old gym that we all used to
That's right,
train,
yeah,
and I was trying to get the new train on board with you.
Yeah,
I remember all that
that's
and
it.
all. But man, that's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I hit it well because of the shame that's attached to it as well. Like, so
Yeah.
and that's where I wasn't like your typical addict as such. You know what I mean? I wasn't out robbing. I always made sure I was hustling and doing whatever I had to do. And I hit it. I didn't want people knowing. I was fucking, like, for me, it was I had a lot of shame attached to it. So that was a hard part of the recovery as well. I was getting over the fact that I had been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took me a long time to get over that bit. But I didn't want people knowing, so I never really preached it. And I never told anyone, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And did you just get over that with the running? Was that your therapy for that, like, in a way? Like,
yeah, but I done a lot of work on myself. Like, I read a lot of books. I reached out to people who I thought could help me as well. You know what I mean? Because, like, I suffer with my mental health. You know what I mean? Like, it would be down. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Like, I know mental health, the word is kind of it's a
Yeah, no. Like,
but if the way I look at it is, it's kind of like mindset. Like, where's your
100%.
mind at? You know what I mean? Whether it's mental health, whatever you want to call it.
100%.
And obviously, because of the addiction and the trauma attached to all that, you know what I mean? I ended up with mental health problems. Now, I'm not saying I'm going out me nut or that, but I know I have to check myself. Yeah. I wake up with negative thoughts. You know what I mean? I wake up sometimes angry. You know what I mean? And I have my tools now that I use. You know what I mean? I have a tool bag that I have with me. Whenever I want to dip into that, it's what do I need today? You know what I mean? I take it out. My morning routine is massively important to me. I meditate, I cold plunge, you know what I mean? I make sure I train most days. But for me, my cold plunger, I call it the cunt controller. Because
that's a good fucking term.
you know what I mean? Because he'll take the cunt out. You know the wake up, I'm either a cranky cunt. That's what I
get into
I wake up most mornings, I'm either a cranky cunt, a moany cunt, or whatever. So he'll control me.
He wipes the slate clean.
Yes, I dive straight in there. That just bang, just livens me up.
Straight
Nice
away
dopamine
awake.
hit there. Do me meditation. Meditation for me is just controlling the way my day is going to be, or get me mind in the right attitude. Because, like I said, if I go out into the world and I haven't checked myself, I can be a bit of a prick. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about, you know what I mean? Just keeping check on my mental health and making sure I'm around good people. Whenever I need help, I reach out and I talk to someone. I don't just sit there and like I I'm good when I'm like on my own as well. I love reading. I love that, but I always go and say, right, who can I talk to? Do you know what I mean? Today, if I'm feeling down, there's always someone there to reach out to.
That's a strong thing as well. Like a big thing for men, especially, is that a lot of blokes won't bother their arse to say shit. Like you know what I mean? Like we're like that as well, where we come in and there's something on my mind, whether I'll say it to you or you're really good to draw it out, to notice it. You know what I mean? So there's respect for that as well. Like to be able to say.
It's a massive issue, like, you know what I mean? There's the amount of men and young lads that are suffering in silence, like, you know what I mean? And like you said there, it's a man thing. We're meant to be tough. We're the breadwinners. We're the head of the family, like. We're not meant to feel low. We're not meant to feel
it's mad, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
It is. It's nuts.
What would you say was the one person or the one protocol or whatever you'd want to call it that was kind of your anchor in pulling you through all of that? Or was there one thing, like you said you had a tool bag, is there one thing that would stick out the most as a big help for you?
A bit the running, without a doubt. Like if I was to pick one thing, you know what I mean, the running for me was massive. You know what I mean? I knew I still use it today. Like I didn't do it this morning. Like, for usually if I was coming to do an interview with someone or talk, I'd go for a run, come back, I'd be fired up on all cylinders. You know what I mean? I don't need it today because I'm in good form, you know what I mean? But there's other days, you know, if I'm feeling a little bit off, I'd go for a run and I could fucking burst down the doors of a fucking studio or anyone in it. It'd be a room full of people and I could get up and talk in front of them. Because that's what running does for me, where the brain is just lit, you know what I mean? And that's what I'd encourage anyone even just to try it, you know what I mean?
Awesome. That brings me to, like, I know you've done a few charity works as well, didn't you? You've done a few charity ones.
Yeah, we do a few of them throughout the year.
Like, what got you into that? Like, just to help out or just to see other people?
Yeah, for me, it was the reason with the club as well, I pushed with the club, is to give a little bit back to the area which I took so much from.
See, the thing is, like, I understood when you started, even when you were running there and you start getting people out and you're starting to run, at the start the club wasn't, like, I don't think you were getting funded by the club, weren't you? No. You were doing it all on your own back.
That only came. I think.
No, because I remember I was talking to you and I was talking to somebody else, and I kind of put the two and two together myself that you were funding it yourself. Yeah. And you were getting people out yourself, just the joy of it, to have people out again. Fair play to you. And now, where is now in the position?
Where are we at now? Well, the Dublin City Council and I work for a charity, a non-profitable charity, Familibase in Ballyfermot, and they had approached me and asked me would they be interested in obviously building the club. You know what I mean? They backed me up, and we went to Dublin City Council funded my position, so now I'm part-time, you know what I mean, with the running club, so I get paid to do what I do as well, which is lovely, you know.
That's fucking amazing, mate.
That's class.
Yeah.
They say as well, if you get paid to do what you love, you're not working.
That's what they say, you won't work a day in your life, so that was great, you know what I mean, for putting in, say, 10 years, you know what I mean, in the background, off my own back. But for me, it was more or less just, I knew people were struggling, and I always wanted to, look, come on, try this fucking running game, you're going to like it, it'll help you out. And before we knew it, it was like a snowball effect. We 10 lads, we 15 lads, we 20, and just built on that, you know.
What was the lockdown like for you?
It was fucking great.
Oh, I heard that was when it was
we had race days. We had we needed it more so than that. And I think it was our biggest ever. We had 200 people signed up to the club that year, plus 100 kids. Like, so it was 300 in total. We had on the books, and I knew people needed it badly, so we ended up, we still had our training sessions. We had a couple of races, you know what I mean, that weren't meant to go ahead, but we just,
There's always a question I wanted to ask you, and it's not even a question, as I say. I remember seeing you, I was, where was I? I was somewhere in Ballia, and you that night, you only finished some race. You had a race through Ballia, through Bray, what was the name of that race?
Yeah, the 100k. It was called Ken's Home 100. We called it. Yeah, just made it was 100 kilometers.
And I seen you that night, dressed fresh, everything, right? And the lads were still finishing races, right?
That's right.
Right? Yeah. But you were telling me somebody just turned up that hasn't trained, he wasn't being with you, and just turned up and bleeding came and just done the race.
I think, if I'm not mistaken...
And you were telling me about him, you were like, he was a freak.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Wayne Waldron, right? Now, he'd been doing a bit of training and stuff like that, but I don't nowhere near what was needed. Yeah. And Wayne now is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's up in the top few in Ireland now with running, He was a great footballer, but he did turn up, and I said to him, what's your training like? And I don't think he got big mileage in. And he goes, no, I still want to do it. I've always wanted to run 100k, so...
Chap finished there. Like.
He finished it, doing the run, and then he just continued with running. But he told me on that race day that he was obviously at the falling back with his football career. He was getting a bit on, and he says, if I go into this run, he says, I'm going all in.
Yeah. And
now he's running marathons in 2:20, 2:30s. I think.
Really,
I can't remember the exact times he's getting, but he's up there with like
2 hour mark is impressive, isn't it? Like,
and under 3 hours is impressive. You know what I mean? So he's in the 2:20. I know I don't know if he got picked for Ireland. I'm nearly sure he was chasing that to be picked for it.
No way.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's nuts. And like, come out. Like, I want to. This is where I want to really dig deeper into. What's the diet like for a runner? Like, what's an average daily intake for a runner food like?
Calorie wise, depending on what you're doing, like, but you're talking 3,000 or 4,000 calories. Like,
really?
You know what I mean?
Because you're burning so much, isn't it?
If you're flat out. Like for instance, I don't have overnight oats, but my overnight oats would be like something a fucking horse would eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big bowl of it.
And
I'd be eating that throughout, you know what I mean, throughout my workouts. But on run days, like, you're talking, massive. Like, we burn, especially on the big runs, you'd be talking 3,000 to 5,000 calories. You know what I mean?
Give us the Kerry Way, that one, the 200k. What's a day of eating like around that?
The night before, obviously, you're carbing up, you know what I mean? We'd be massively, and then throughout the whole run, my little go-to was peanut butter and toast, like a toast, peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah. So I'd have a couple, because
the fats.
Yeah,
what
calories, but like the dryness of that.
Yeah, no, in fairness. He's right. If you haven't got water with you, you're fucking in trouble. But a lot of gels, obviously, you'd have the carbohydrate gels, you'd have caffeine gels, stuff like that, and then we'd have every 25, 30k, we'd have a van type of thing, you know what I mean? And I'd always try to get a pasta into me, or learn me a small bowl of pasta.
Slow bonus.
Yeah, a bit of potato, you know what I mean, or rice dish or something, but they wouldn't be eating loads because you have to go back running again. So it's kind of just making sure that you're taking your food every half hour, you know what I mean? And but I always remember when I started the ultra run, and one guy said to me, you have to learn how to eat and run at the same time.
That's my next question.
That's what I was about to say.
I said, they're two of my biggest passions.
I can't eat and stand, Kenneth. You know what I mean? Whether you're sitting down or it's going everywhere.
Yeah,
I love eating and I love running, so I just said, nice, that'll do me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
But
like,
you are constantly like, flapjacks, you know what I mean? That's high calories.
Dense,
And another great one is the bulletproof coffee, you know what I mean, with the butter in it. You know what I mean? That's a savage one for giving you energy. It's basically
just coffee.
Kerry Gold. You can use Kerry Gold into your coffee.
Right. Wow.
A big chunk of butter. Or what I started doing was peanut butter. Because fucking Kerry Gold is fucking
horrible. I hate coffee. Like, so what? Like a normal coffee?
You'd have a normal black coffee and you'd put peanut butter or butter. Yeah.
In the middle.
Coconut oil is another one as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real good way of getting energy quickish. You know what I mean?
It is. It's a real like you won't try it. Like you're gone like the clappers with it. Like.
You'll do a good walk. You'll do a savage workout. You know what I mean? 15.
It's really clean and not like crashy kind of.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
That's first I heard that.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this now? We'll be fucking.
I've heard Viagra and all for pumps. That's
old school shit.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
I've never heard that. Never heard that.
Walk's a treat. Yeah, like I'd still use it today if we were out on runs and. We'd always make sure there's a deli, say, at a certain point. 20
when you say the same
location. Get a couple of little squares of butter into a coffee and just neck it.
That's mad. And come to say that, like, the community has blossomed with you guys. Like, I've seen, like, I'm not a fan of cold. So when it's raining and you're doing all that, I'm watching from Instagram. I'm gonna be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the community has blossomed witches, and I've seen so many people show up to our races, even at the end, or even people volunteering to meet us halfway, with vans, supplements, water. The community has blossomed big time witches, and it's great to see that, especially. Like I said, from where you started from to where you are now, it's fucking amazing, man. And I've seen that you're working with kids as well now. You're starting to take kids on board now. Yeah, we have a juvenile section and a teenage section in the club. So we meet twice a week in the community centre with them, and it's free for all the kids. So we've averaged 80 to 100 kids. Yeah, I have my son down in, I have my son down at the one in Lucan. Is that, do you know the racetrack in Lucan?
It's Liffey Valley, is it? Am I right?
Yeah. Malik is up that one. He loves to run, man. He's up that one now. He's up. No, it's not Liffey Valley. Is that the one up at Lucan Village? Do you know up at?
I think is it not called Liffey Valley Running Club?
I haven't a clue.
There could be. I'm nearly sure. I don't know.
She's gonna kill me. All I know is in the running club. Yeah, but as soon as I get a car back, I'm wishing to come down to you and see what you are with the kids because he love it, man. He will love it. But you're doing amazing things, man. Honestly, I truly respect that. And even to take the time out and come out and spread that with us, it's amazing.
No, at all, man. I'm a friend of yours the last
Do
couple
you know
of years.
what I mean?
The least I can do is sit down and have a chat with you. You know what I mean?
But I always wanted to see this though, with your fitness and your endurance, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever try an Ironman?
I've done them.
Fuck off.
I've done 3 of them.
Are you
This man is drinking butter in his coffee. He's doing everything.
So, I
break an Iron Man down for anyone who's listening that might not know.
Wait there, I'll tell you my point. What I seen about man.
Right, go on.
go for
I was in Belmedina, right, years ago, and I went down for breakfast, and they started this Ironman race. Right, there was loads of people, right, and so Ironman is running, swimming,
swim first, cycle, run.
yeah, right, and I went for breakfast, had breakfast, went back. Came back for lunch. They were still going. Went back.
Oh shit!
They're still going.
As the meal, like.
Yeah. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You know when you come for dinner and all. They were still going. I was like, this is not me, mate. Not a hope. That is ridiculous. That's mad. I've never wow.
Yeah, I've done. It's been a while since I've done. Well, was it last year? I was in Switzerland 2 years ago. I'm shit with dates and all that.
Yeah.
But I done Switzerland. I done the half distance in Switzerland. My first one was a half distance in Dublin as well, and then I went to Cork in 2000 and done the full distance down there. Yeah. That was the one where the 2 lads passed away this year. On the same. That was the same race as that. I'd say I was lucky. The swim got cancelled the year we done it. It's for the same reasons. The waves were too big.
It was too big. Yeah.
But this year they decided to go ahead with it, and 2 lads.
Drowned.
Didn't make it, unfortunately.
And come here, how would you prepare for an Ironman?
Do you see,
do you get where I'm going from?
it's a lot of time. Like they say, average 12 to 20 hours a week training. Do you know what I mean? So you'll get away with 12 hours, but you're gonna suffer. And I always say to people, you train hard to race easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do a race, you don't want to suffer on the day of the race. You want to enjoy it. So
I feel like even training for it and getting prepared for it, like your recovery time is such a small window.
Oh, without a doubt,
it's nuts.
It's your nutrition, your sleep, your water, and obviously your recovery. Not like physio type of thing you need probably once a week. But if you're hitting everything on the nail, like if your sleep is right, your water is right, and everything, you can map it out that it's workable, it's doable, because you're doing 3 different sports. So you're swimming, obviously, you do twice a week. Your cycling will be twice a week, run twice a week. But because they're all different sports, you're not putting big demand on the same muscles for the whole week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but basically, it's like you just got to map out. I used to getting up in the bleeding winter at 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? And the ice on the roads, and you're getting on a bike. You know, like, I know I cold plunge and I love the sea a lot. I'm always out in the sea having my sea dips. But my feet when I get cold in my feet, it's very hard to heat them back up. Yeah. And when you're on a bike, it's just pure wind going through it. So I ended up buying a size 12 cycling shoe.
So you can wear more socks.
I never forget it. I must have looked so ridiculous if a shoe about looking that length. You know?
Fucking awesome, man.
Barges on you, and talk distance to us. How long? Is that?
Okay, so for the a full distance would be a 3.8 kilometre swim, average about 1.5 hours swimming, 2 hours depending on how fast you swim. Then we have 180k on the bike. So that's a growler. And then you have to jump off and do a marathon at the end, a 42k run.
Okay. And on the bike it's hills as well, isn't it?
The Cork was a fucking nightmare. I was at the prepping well and I loved it. So for me, Dublin Mountains is right on our doorstep, so we're always in the mountains on the bike. And when I done the race, I was at the prepared myself well, so I loved it. And the fact that the swim was cancelled, it was kind of a little bonus for me.
Right, yeah. In your back there, for sure.
But regards doing it, we had done Dublin in, I'm trying to think of the year. it was 2 years before 2000, so we were at doing the Dublin half. And my friend Paulie Carroll, he said to me, he goes, you probably know Paulie, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know
Paulie had said to me, he goes, we can't just leave her at that, Ken. He says, we're not real Ironmen. What do you mean? He says, we've done a half an Ironman. It doesn't sound the same.
It doesn't sound right.
It's always that one chapter.
Just accept it. We're fucking Ironman.
Nah, bro, that's plenty. Half is more than none.
Yeah. So for me, I was a fucking Ironman no matter what. I had it on the fucking hat. I said
Yeah.
But he said to me, he goes, no, I'm not happy, Kenneth. He said, and then a fucking few. I said, if you book a full one, I will. You know what I mean? I was thinking he's not going to book a full one. That was hard. You know what I mean? That what we already had done. Fucking a couple of weeks later, he sends me a message. Boom, you better get booking. I'm at the book in Cork.
Oh God!
And I'm a man in my word, like, so I said to him, if you book, and I went with him. We done it. 2 of us finished, thank God. So, but an amazing experience.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I know it's such a great sport as well. It's expensive, but so there's quite restrictions there as well. I'm hoping. Another friend of mine's meant to be booking one tomorrow. Is it today? Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow, Friday. Going to Marbella. And I said, if you book it, I'll book it. So I'll know tomorrow.
There seems to be strong on Marbella, isn't it? They seem to love it up there.
Yeah, they love it all along there. It's such a big sport. It's savage to do if you train right for it.
I think that's the superhero of
that's pinnacle of shit.
Yeah,
for sure.
I really do. I don't know many men that done it. Like personally, as in, like, do you know what I mean? You're probably the second person that I know that ever done that.
Deadly.
That's crazy.
If I had the money, I'd just go travelling the world doing Ironman.
You see that now, like, you know what I mean? With all the work you're doing, like, with sponsors not come on board, no?
But see, the thing with the club is, for me as a personally doing stuff like that, it's separate to the club.
It's separate to the club,
you know what I mean? So unless I go out and look for sponsorship,
reach out for sponsors.
Yeah, I could probably get it. Now, I've had a lot of help through the years, in fairness. There's a great guy now, Damien, from Amphibian King up here in Ballymount. He's had to looking after me this year, you know what I mean, with a few bits. And I'm hoping I could definitely I could knock on a few doors. Like, people are willing to help me out.
Like, I would love to see you now with a bit more sponsors doing this one now, if you're doing the Spain one.
Yeah.
Even reach out to us as well. Like, whatever we can do, we can help as well with, you know what I mean, with champions. Like,
because that's the only thing that stops. We tried to promote within the club as well, but being with Cherry Orchard, a lot of people don't have the money. So
a lot of people don't even know what it is, to be honest with you.
As well. So, like, it's an expensive sport. You're talking about 400 or 500 quid for an entry for the race, and then you're talking about travel expenses, the bikes, all that type of stuff to get it over there.
The bikes,
some of them are fucking numbers. The spends they have
it's ridiculous.
Mine is not too bad, man. I'm a fucking, I just grind it out, you know what I mean? Give me a BMX and I'll try it, you know?
Can't go down the strip in a
flick. Some of them spend fucking
mad money.
I had a client who's into cycling, and he's told me some of the numbers. And
mad money.
Like, that's a car. Like,
yeah, man.
I mean? Like, it's a
mad
car.
money.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's but it makes it a lot easier on the day as well.
Yeah, the lighter the bike, the more, you know, aerodynamic, all that crap. So kudos, man. Fair play to you. Yeah. And that brings me to the last question I'm going to ask. I don't know about yourself now. Do you do workshops?
I don't.
Why?
I tell you what it is. I'm fairly busy at the minute. You know what I mean? I have a little. I do a little bit of part time in the gym as well, where I do my spin classes. For me, it's kind of training and spinning together. But going forward in January, I'm kind of sort of remarketing myself a little bit. And hopefully I'll be out there. I'm going to be doing a long line coach of a couple of clients at the minute, where I'm doing online coaching with ultra marathons and marathons. But I want to expand a little bit and get out there more. You know what I mean? Sort of get into the online business type of side of things. But workshops came up as well. I'm going into January. I think I have a thing I'm doing in one of the schools in Ballyfermot.
Yeah, I think you'll be great. I think you'll be an inspiration, to be honest with you. And being that, like, going through what you went through to coming out the end of being at the level you are with running, I think it'd be a shame for you not to share your story to up and coming youths. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when we're in school, that's when our brains are a lot more open. You know, having someone like yourself coming in and telling your story can change somebody's life. Like,
absolutely.
You know,
and I think you can tell it as well is good.
Yeah, I think a workshop will suit you down. It'd be really, really nice to point as a credit out for you. Like,
a lot of the time, it's finding the right people to help you along the way, or the guidance. You know what I mean, for me as well. But look, I'm looking into stuff now, and hopefully January comes around, we can.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll nail him, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, nothing but confidence in that for you, you know. And with that as well, that ties in nicely to my last question as well. Is just to come full circle, considering that you help so many with stuff that you've struggled with as well. if we could put a message out now, like let's say in the vein of, if you could speak to 13 or 18-year-old Kenneth, what would be the words that you give of advice?
It's a tricky one. Just try to take the right path. You know what I mean? Like we all know deep inside what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And a lot of the time we block that bit of ourselves out. You know what I mean? We just don't know what the right path is. You know what I mean? But yeah, try just ask yourself the question: am we doing the right thing? You know what I mean? We all know, like I said, right and wrong, but and just latch onto the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's not easy for young kids out there nowadays. But at the same time, I think if you deep down inside that they know themselves, it's kind of reach out and ask for a bit of advice. You know what I mean? Go to someone, like, you know what I mean, and try not to go down that rocky road that we all know we're taking, and we just kind of ignore it. You know what I mean? But so if there was the bit of advice, would be to act on your intuition. You know what I mean? If you know you're not doing good, you know what I mean, act on it. Don't just roll with it. Don't roll with it. You know what I mean? Because it'll just bring you into a darker place.
100%.
You know what I mean? It'll spiral. So
100%.
Nail it.
Yeah. There's one more question I want to ask.
Go on, bro. Go on.
go for it, Mark.
That's one more.
Let me have the last one,
This one could go on for a little bit, though, but I'll make it very short. Come on, look, see, when you were saying that, it fizzled out of my head, because like when we were talking about mental health and all.
Yeah.
Because my mental health hit the floor as well, and I have no problem speaking about it. I always spoke about it, but I found myself through the likes of shamanic and the likes of ayahuasca and mushrooms.
Yeah, nice one. Did you do the ayahuasca?
Yeah. I done them down the country, down in Meath. That's where I go when I find things a little bit tough. I take myself out there. I take myself out of this bubble. And I go there and I just get whatever I had to get off my chest and do my thing, and it's like a reset for me, you know. And that's what I was going to ask you. Did you go down any that road? Or? I done a great DMT experience. Yeah, I did that as well. Yeah, I did that as well. Yeah, a friend of mine came back from Australia, and he was telling me about it. Like, so it wasn't any of the shit synthetic crap that's going around now. Did you do the back? The proper back?
Yeah, I think it was in a bark, but I think
it was brown, like the bark off a tree, you know, and it hit your throat, like.
Yeah, he crushed it up for us and done all the business with it, but I had a lovely experience on that. Yeah. It's funny that you say, because again, I don't want to be sending out the wrong signals, you know. My recovery and my path that I took to get clean and everything else probably wouldn't suit everyone, you know what I mean? So like a lot of people wouldn't experiment with the likes of that, the ayahuasca and stuff, you know. My DMT experience was a game changer, you know what I mean? I'm glad you even asked me the question, because I kind of forgot where the experience I had on it. Yeah. And I always remember leaving the house, beautiful, lovely experience, man. It was just crazy where I just lifted off the sofa, and an out of body experience is exactly what I had, because I remember looking back. You know what I mean? I going up towards the ceiling, the bright lights, you know what I mean? The ceiling just went pure white. And just before I went through the white light, I looked back and I could see myself on the sofa and the setting all underneath.
That is mad.
Right? That's like you've never done that. That's exactly what you said.
I said the exact same thing.
Anyone out there that wants to bring me through that shit, fucking hit me up.
So when I just looked around and seen that, and then I said, yeah, I'm ready for this, you know, and I turned around to the light and
boom,
gone. Yeah. Off into the stratosphere, I was gone. You know what I mean? And it was weird because it was like
mine was peaceful.
Yeah,
too peaceful.
It was just amazing. It was for me. It was kind of like I always remember the feeling like my body just went puff into smoke, and all that was left was my consciousness. Yeah, and that's what was fucking off into the atmosphere.
I swear to God, right? Like when people ask me, because me personally, religion is not. I just said, it's there or not.
It's a tricky one.
But when they ask me, okay, so you don't believe going to heaven? I do. That's what I always relate to.
Yes,
your conscious mind.
Yeah. So,
like, I feel like the vessel that we're in, the human form it's just a bottle.
Yeah, it's a shell. Yeah,
like, you know, when you sent me something before years ago, how to talk to yourself without answering yourself, like how to don't speak. Do you ever see when you're just sitting there? You can ask yourself 20 different questions. Yeah, you're not moving your mouth, you're not moving your tongue.
The voice in your head.
Yeah.
What is that like?
That's exactly what. That's when I came off that's what I was trying to explain to my missus.
Yeah.
That I was left with this thing that was me, but the rest wasn't there.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
Fucked up.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? I as I said to you, I remember coming out of it, and I like you there, I felt that was like my spirit had left my body. Yeah. And was like, you know what I mean, my spirit being my consciousness or whatever. Yeah. And then coming back down, and the calmness I felt, and that just, you know, I don't fear death anymore.
Yeah,
like I genuinely don't. You know what I mean? Now,
yes.
I don't want to go out and get back of a car, but I'm just saying.
You're not welcome.
But I don't have that. I don't have that. You know the way as a young person, the go get
you know,
20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have that, and that was down to the DMT experience.
Oh, it's
I
amazing.
genuinely
Like,
don't really fear it now because I know there's.
Yeah. It's amazing
What's
too.
beyond?
There
I don't
you
know
go.
what's beyond, but I know it's not as scary as I would be thinking.
So you done the proper back from the Amazon. You done the proper.
This was made off the tree in Australia.
That's what I did as well.
Yeah.
The prop. Like, see, lads are doing it and they're doing these mix, like, off the street shit. And then they're getting the vape and all. Yeah. No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it. Trust me, guys, you are doing it wrong. Like, when I done it, I'm talking for 3-4 days, I was on a high, bro. Like, my missus could turn around to me and start a fight on me, and I'd be like, you cannot break me today. I'm telling you. It's just like, there's no fighting here. It's just all love and peace. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. And how I found it was Joe Rogan. It's nuts. It's weird. Like,
love Joe Rogan.
Do you know what I mean? But that's how I found it. But yeah, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Just before we go, just to be we're on the subject, it is a little bit of a tricky situation around psychedelics and all, but for anyone, if they are going to try it, is to go to where you went, go to the professionals,
the shamans, professionals.
You know what I mean? And someone, exactly. Don't fucking you don't want to be going.
Yeah, we had Tom. We had what's his name?
Tommy Ellis.
Tommy Ellis.
Shout out to Tommy, bro. Tommy's my man.
Tommy Ellis. If any of you are looking for anyone like that now, Tommy Ellis is the man. We had one of the shamans in here as well.
Nice.
We had
I must listen back.
I'm
gonna check that out.
You want to check that out, mate?
Deadly.
Mind blown. What an educated.
It was the quietest Montclair I'd ever been in his life.
Right.
He was there like.
But that's a good thing. You're taking it in, and
soak it up.
The calmness you'll have
around
someone like that is
his
deadly.
aura was just like on a different level.
Different level, yeah.
Savage.
But honestly, I respect you so much.
Likewise.
And I want you to I just want to give you your flowers now since you're here. Thank you for taking the time out to come out to us. That story, man, I hope that, you know, everyone gets the message across. We're a little bit different, guys, so if you like what we do, don't forget to press the subscribe and like. You want to let us know where to find you, social media, if anyone wants to reach out to you?
Yeah, you get me on Facebook as Kenneth O'Driscoll, and then on Instagram, which I use most of it, is Cherry Orchard Running Coach.
Yes.
So Coach Ken.
Coach Ken.
Yes.
Coach Ken, you heard it here, boys. So thank you, and we are out. Yes.
Peace.
We've made it to the end. Guys, if you're fucking with us and you like exactly what we were doing, everything we talked about, make sure to do
follow, like, share, subscribe, YouTube or Spotify. No matter what you're listening or watching us on, be sure to hit all them buttons and run up them numbers, my guys. You know what I'm saying?
You better.